Due to the state of the nation, the 36 governors in Nigeria and the president had a meeting considering creating state police. I could remember during the first national conference held during Jonathan, this state policing was one of the recommendations that particular conference recommended, which the last administration did not even look into it. They cross-carpeted everything. Whenever you talk about restructuring Nigeria, because as it stands now, let me tell you the gospel truth, as it stands now, for us to get Nigeria back again, for us to start the process, one of the process of getting Nigeria back again to a normal place is by restructuring Nigeria. When I mean restructuring Nigeria, I mean full restructuring. And this state policing is one of the recommendations made by that conference that year. But I pray that this meeting will give something meaningful to Nigerians. Because if you look into the mind of people you call your leaders, even some of them will not be in support of this state policing. They will not be in support of restructuring Nigeria. I don't know what they will lose, but they say that they are representing us. Yes, they say they are representing us, but if you talk about restructuring Nigeria, so that you and me, those people, they always call the common man. Those people would always call the poor people in the streets, so that we will benefit from the things God has used in blessing the country. They will not be in support of such thing. Just sit tight and watch the full gist on what happened in this meeting and try to share the video. Like it, drop your comments at the comment section and follow my page if you are not following me. We move. I remember my humble self, the Ike Man.
Please rise for Mr. President.
Ja, rise naar rijden. Laat hem even.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press. This meeting was called at the instance of Mr. President to intimate the state governors about what is happening, what the federal government is doing, and to also hear from the state governors their input about issues of development in this country. A lot of issues were discussed about the security situation in the country, the apparent food issue that the media has also been reporting about, and some other measures that will help in improving the state of our nation. Now, the first point is that a committee, the governors and Mr. President have agreed to set up a committee to deepen the conversation that has happened at the just concluded meeting. Of course, you know that it is impossible to complete most of the issues that were raised at the meeting, so it's going to be a continuous one. Secondly, Mr. President and the governors have agreed that these kind of meetings will continue in the interest of our nation. It is important that all the time the federal government and the state governors, who are leaders at the sub-national level, to continue to engage and interact collectively so that issues of national importance will continue to be addressed and we don't leave room for any speculation or for people who may seize the opportunity to say things that are not in the interest of our country. First, the National Security Advisor, the Director General of the State Services, the Inspector General of Police have been directed to coordinate with the state governors to look at the issue of those holding commodities. At this point that the nation requires food to be brought out to the people so that we can control prices and put food on the table of most Nigerians. Other commodity traders are busy holding these commodities so that Nigerians will suffer or they will make more money as a result. So the governors and Mr. President have taken this decision that security agencies will cooperate or collaborate with the state governors to ensure that this ends. Number two, a decision has also been taken that in the interest of our country, there will be no need for food importation at this point. Nigeria has the potential to feed itself and even be a next exporter of food items to other countries. And we do not also want to reverse some of the progress we have seen in terms of food production in this country. What we are seeing now is just a temporary difficulty that will soon go away. Therefore, the solution to it is by continuous investment in agriculture so that food can be made available to all Nigerians. Of course, you know that Mr. President has declared emergency in agriculture many months ago. Therefore, part of the measures that he has taken is to ensure that more investments are made in this sector for the benefit of our people. The governors have also agreed to join hands with Mr. President to deepen their own investment in the agricultural sector so that more food will be made available to Nigerians. Of course, this investment is not just in crop production, it is also in livestock development and management. All this is to ensure that food is available. In the area of security, Mr. President and the state governors have all agreed that at this point we are seeing significant improvement in security situation around the country. Of course, this is not to say that the security situation has been solved completely, but we have seen significant improvement. In Borno, for example, areas where farmers have not been able to cultivate as a result of security, those farmers have now returned to their farms. It is also the same thing in Jigawa and many parts of the country. The governors, including the governor of Plateau State, has also attested to the fact that despite all the challenges that we are having, there appears to be improvement in security in these areas. Of course, like I said, the situation has not been completely been solved. The security situation has not been completely solved, but we are seeing a positive movement towards a secure Nigeria. Mr. President and the governors also thank the security agencies for the work they are doing, some of them even paying supreme price with their lives to ensure that Nigerians have a secured environment. They have thanked Mr. President for all that he's doing, and they've also asked him to do more so that at the end of the day, we will have a completely secured Nigeria. Now, in this direction, Mr. President and the state governors have also discussed the possibility of improving the numeric strength of forest rangers, to train them so that they can keep our forest and our borders very safe. Now, there is also a discussion around the issue of state police. The federal government and the state governments are mulling the possibility of setting up state police. Of course, this is still going to be further discussed. A lot of work has to be done in that direction, but both the federal government and the state governments are agreeing to the necessity of having state police. Now, this is a significant shift, but like I said, more work needs to be done in that direction. A lot of meetings will have to happen between the federal government and the subnationals to see the modalities of achieving this. Now, these are some of the issues that have been discussed. And Mr. President has also called on the state governors to join hands with the federal government to provide more for our people, especially the teeming youth population. There is going to be a joint program between the state governments and the federal government to ensure that our teeming youth population is gainfully employed, so that we reduce to the barest minimum the issue of unemployment in the country. At the end of it all, the 36 state governors and Mr. President are all on one page, irrespective of political differences, to ensure that Nigeria remains peaceful, Nigeria remains united, Nigeria remains prosperous going forward. And this kind of conversation, like I said, will continue to be deepened. Engagement between the federal government and the state governors will continue. Thank you very much.